Sound check, sound check. Let me know if the audio's fixed. Apparently I was talking that whole time and none of you could hear me. Sorry about that. Changing my mic setup this week, so whoops. Alrighty then. So anyway, I will now recap everything I said for the last however long this was. I read up on, and I got an answer from a couple people on what might be going on here, or I found an answer or something. I honestly don't even remember how I found out. Basically, the byte order is not specified in the actual Simon and Spec paper, but the authors of the algorithms specified extemporaneously in a private email that they actually expect it to be big endian, which you kind of have to tell people because most programmers are actually on a little endian architecture. So, yeah. I'm not on a big endian machine. So if these test vectors, these test results, if these were done with the assumption of a big endian byte order, of course it wouldn't match up even if I got the algorithm right, because it's the wrong byte order. So Rust doesn't have a baked-in way of handling endianness, which is frankly kind of disappointing and weird, because of all the stuff that people use Rust for, you'd think like endianness would be something to give you an explicit way to deal with. Yeah, that's weird. That's really strange. All I've been able to find is this library called byte order. There may be some other way I'm supposed to do this. I don't know, though. I don't know. So, what I'm currently trying to do is debug this guy right here. So it panicked because I unwrapped an error value, and it errored because it didn't have two 16-bit values to give me. It ran out of bytes when I tried to do that one. So my current hypothesis is that it's interpreting, and it really shouldn't do this. It should actually fail compile time on this. I'm surprised they do this. My assumption right now is that these 16-bit hexadecimal values, I think it's interpreting those as single byte values instead of double byte, and it's truncating, overflowing something like that. So I think what it's doing is it's overflowing or something this value. It's overflowing that into an a single byte 8-bit value. This one becomes a single byte 8-bit value, and then it ends up reading out both values with that invocation. What I was about to do before I noticed that nobody could actually hear me was I was going to this 39,867 value. I was going to see what deformations I could perform on these values that could produce that. But the fact is I don't really need to do that. I'm pretty certain that's what's going on. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the vec macro. See the hexadecimalize. Oh, Rust. So I think maybe from its point of view, what I'm doing here is I'm expressing an integer in hexadecimal form, and the fact that it exceeds the maximum allowed value for the byte representation is just sort of incidental or maybe an implicit property of this cursor or something. I don't know. It's pretty weird. Oh, little endian, not found in the scope. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so just a man. All right. Let's read a single byte out. Oh, because there's only one byte, so don't need this. There's a single byte. Oh, God. Read U8. It's right there. Oh, whoops. There we go. 155. That's interesting. Yep, it's just truncating it. What happens if I take a second value? 187. Okay, that doesn't make sense. BB. Dude, I don't even know where it's getting that value from. BB187 from C6? The 9B matches the 155. Myths and legends about integer overflow in Rust. Okay. Welcome back. That doesn't necessarily tell me anything about the VEC. What does it even look like? Yep, that's weird. I can explain the first value, but not the second. Oh, no! No! There it is! Yeah, BB. Right there. Okay, it just took the low bytes of each value. When it truncated. Yeah, it just truncated them. That's fucking crazy. Alright. Yeah, 9B and BB, right there, 155, 187. Okay, so it's always dropping the high bytes. Alright, that is interesting. That is terrifying. But it's interesting. Wow. Alright. Slice of UA, yeah, sure. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. So I need to figure out the correct way to break these up. If this is right, could be wrong. This is another problem I'm having with this library, though. If the vector macro and the way they're telling me to do this only works for individual bytes, and I can't use a larger literal, that is it, assuming this thing it's... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that's intended to work. Super weird. Okay. 39878 and 48105. 155, 198, 187, 233. Okay. Okay. $50843, 59835, 50843, 59835. Okay. So when I read it as Little Endian and I use this order, it is correct. And I'll just go ahead and mate that with that. And then if I do low byte last, all right. So that's my little endian representation. That's my big endian representation of two 16-bit hex numbers. Okay. Now they match. The warnings in the top right pane hint at that also. Unnecessary parents, unused variable, unused key. Variable doesn't need to be mutable. No warnings about that yet. Or at least not currently. Oh, literal out of range for UA warnings from earlier. Yeah. No, it warns, but that should be an error. Partly it was that I had run into the U8 out of range thing before, but I wanted to actually know what it did. Because clearly it compiles something, right? So what I learned today was that it truncates the high bits above the initial byte for each value. And that's why I was getting 155, whatever 9B is, and whatever BB is. I just wanted to know that, so that if I accidentally do that again, I'll know what the relationship between the values might be, if that's happening. Okay. So I guess maybe I can just read in all these values as a big endian or something. I don't... Truthfully, I'm not really certain how to do everything in terms of big endian here, because, I mean, all this library seems to do is create a byte value. I mean, maybe that's enough, but maybe I can just flip everything, do all the arithmetic, read it back out. Actually, wait. Three 9.878. Decimal text. think by now I just have like a thing for this, but no, I don't. 9BC6. Yeah. I guess I should have. I guess I deserve that. 191 FE9C. No, it's not that. Okay. Hey, Dineth is here. Yeah, I'm trying to implement Simon from the Simon spec. This guy. I'll go ahead and link it in chat so you can find out about it. Anyway, I'm trying to implement like the 3264 block cipher, and it's fucked up. And I think part of the reason it's fucked up because I'm not doing the endianness correctly or something. Well, I don't know. So I'm currently just playing with like a library that lets me play with the endianness of bytes, but it doesn't really do all that much that's useful for me. Wait a second. No. Yeah, so what I'm currently getting is, given the plain text 6565, 6877, I get the ciphertext 19F1 FE9C. So. Dustin Matlock says something about a government contracted project. No, this is Rust. Oops. All right. reverse word ordering in byte sequence, and big endian byte ordering within words. Wow. That explains why the K sequence was a countdown. Oh my god. Alright. K of I. So I could maybe do something like that's kind of funny actually. I don't think that's... What? Hold on. Rust for loop countdown. Reverse ordered for loop. Okay. Range reverse t-1 0. What is this? Oh, not finding the scope. Standard iter probably. Yes. Unstable. All right. Module. Okay, I didn't actually want a module range. I just use standard iter. Is that enough? No, it is not. Well, I'm using nightly. Wait. Is this in a library somewhere? Is this even... What? Diana said, have you done much C or C++ before picking up Rust? I mean, you know, I did some C and C++ when I was younger. Knowing a little bit about C++ smart pointers helped, but I didn't really know that much. Can you not? I just want the range function. Why? Can I do 0 ... t-1 rev? I can. Attempt to subtract with overflow. I did 1 minus t. That's not going to work. FF91A31E. Well, it doesn't look a lot like my vector, but you know, it's all good. Okay. Okay. So alright, I have set my sights lower. I am no longer going to try to match the test vector of the original paper, because fuck those guys. If they can't be bothered to state the endianness that their test vectors expect, then fuck them. However, I do want to try to get it like round tripping, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm also going to try to figure out why this is misbehaving. Oh yeah, I see. Rotate left X versus rotate left Y. I see, okay. I get it. Yeah, it's literally just inverted. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Y clone Y X Y Y X equals X encrypt, Y decrypt. Alright. Hey, it's round tripping. I'm declaring victory. Fuck them. God. Oh, God. Diafast, is it all sane to write the endians to be parameterized? Like a function parameter to tell it what it's supposed to do or something? I guess you could do that. I don't know. Usually what you're gonna do, excuse me, usually you're gonna do one of two things. Either you're going to normalize everything into a particular byte representation ahead of time before it really gets into the rest of your program. A lot of networking stuff kind of fits that profile. The other is that you're just going to generate different binaries that do things differently depending on their target platform. I don't think you would want to actually like case or match on an endianness like enum value to decide how to handle bytes, because your program will probably spend a lot of time fucking with you. I don't know. It just sounds like it would be hell to maintain. But hey, I've got a round-tripping encryption and decryption algorithm. That's cool, right? Took like 2 minutes after I gave up on matching the test vector. Oh my god. Fantastic. Okay. Well, I guess I'll push this up. Dinah says, well, at least now you're doing the wrong thing consistently. I don't know. I mean, I don't... When they put that little... I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say the paper didn't have a lot of effort in it. It did. It's just, if they're not going to bother to specify stuff like that about what their test vectors, expect from their data, that I don't really care about matching their implementation or their test vectors, as long as it actually correctly implements the crypto and correctly encrypts data and spits it back out. I don't really care, because I'm not expecting this to speak to different implementations of the same cryptographic algorithm. Like, it's not going to talk to like the Java block cipher over a network, right? So if I'm just doing this for my own like edification, unless I really want to figure out how to match the endiness and everything else, like, it's not really something I care to learn right now, because the fact is I don't know how to like do the big endian thing correctly. And the problem is, because there's a bunch of kind of frankly boring unknowns involved, it's just not a good use of my time to like go chasing down that dragon, especially on stream. I don't even have a good way to test this really. And it's really hard for me to know like if any one incremental step I'm making is actually bringing me closer to a correct implementation. So yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. The fact that like this works, I'm done. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. It actually is a simple encryption algorithm, the way the person I saw that suggested it said it would be, but it's just, there's some weird vagaries with the way it's described that aren't very clear. I think this algorithm could be a lot easier to implement with a slightly better description. Alright, so let me see here. Well, that's done now. I didn't expect to be done with this so quickly, so I'm going to try to find something that I can work on here. I could maybe work on boutique. Switch gears a little bit. If I do, I'm actually going to cut the stream and restart just so I have 2 different files to upload to YouTube. Let me see what I've got on the issues. Nah, no. There's nothing that's really like a good thing for me to dive into code-wise. For boutiques, so instead I'm going to look for one of the other Rust ideas I had. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. Duke, the GTK tutorial thingy. This pretty much worked. I could take my RSS filter thingy and actually try wrapping a little web app around it. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. Okie dokie. Okay, so in case you didn't see the stream where I worked on this, this is a Rust clone of this thing. It lets you type in a feed, and then you can include or exclude items where the title, description, link contains yada yada yada, and then whatever value it's containing or not containing or matching regex or whatever. And then it just creates a feed URL out of that. And then, excuse me. And then you can reuse that RSS feed URL in an RSS client or something if you want. Most RSS clients don't really give you a lot of power to control your RSS feeds, to filter them, to do anything like that. They're generally kind of disappointing from that point of view. They're not really made for power users because most places don't really focus on being good for RSS, and the clients don't really focus on it. The things that get used the most for RSS are actually podcasts on like content. But even then, like, it could be useful for filtering podcasts too, because then you could, if the podcast you listen to has a consistent piece of text in the title, then you can filter that in or out or whatever it is you want. And then you could use that to split up your feeds into different subfeeds and things like that, even if the creators don't do it for you. Ideally, the creators would do that for you, especially if they have a lot of content, but a lot of them don't want to do that for pretty understandable reasons. Anyway, so this is just like a super dumb recreation of what that does, and my little kind of, what are my make targets here? Yeah, run. Nope, guess not. Match Haskell URL. Do I actually support file incarnation? Following required arguments or not. It says required unless file. So I did provide file. So why is it being obnoxious? Alright. Make, run, match, blah. Nope. I'll just fix it in the make file. And test data small. Okay. We're going to search for Python. make run. Yeah, there you go. And there's two. Yeah, alright, there we go. So there's two items here, and it only grabs this one because I matched Python. So yeah. As neat as that command line interface is, let's go ahead and see if I can make a web app version. Actually, check out master. There we go. Alright, how do Rust people do web stuff? Are we web with it? You can build stuff. As I recall, they don't have forms. It's really annoying. What frameworks of choice are Conduit, Gotham, Iron, Nickel, Rocket? Yeah, sure. Totally a web framework. Next. They like Rails, Phoenix, and Django. That's terrifying. Website's okay. That font sucks, but that's alright. State requests. State response. I think I've seen Iron before. I remember running into trouble with Iron. I don't know what it was. There's something, an Express.js inspired framework. Good God. These people need better inspirations. Why not be inspired by something better? Oh, they lost their domain. Yeah, sure. What happened? What? I don't know who is? Come on. Okay, well, you figure that out. Oh, .rs is it's Serbian. What the fuck? I bet you Nickel RS lost their domain to the Serbian mafia or some shit. Oh my god. .rs is only available to customers who subscribe to a Gandhi corporate contract. Gotta watch out for that Serbian mafia, man. Alright, cool. Okay. Back to web frameworks. Express.js inspired web framework for Rust. Well, I touched it 18 days ago. Is there anything in their issues about that? So they lost the domain, and they're just moving off of it. That's cool. Super cool. there... Can I get anything else? I guess rocket. That's not a word. Just saying. Okay, overview, quick start, getting started, guide, API docs. Jesus. Params, quest cards. Dun, 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 dun. What about request arguments though? Get args. Query string. There we go. Query strings are handled just like forms. Neat. String from form trait. Okay. Oh god. Alright. Quick start. Check out example. Oh, not that. I see. Tag. Examples. Oh, wow. Tunnel source. It's just rocket code. Okay. Sometimes it's snake case, sometimes it's this case, kebab case. Okay, pick one. You build. Source web RS. Big test, small test. Nope, don't care. Not like I really have the HP client stuff implemented either. Rest up. Update. Look at that compile go. That's nice. Yeah, fair enough. There it is. Host what? 8,000? Neat. No matching rates for get filecom. Yep, that is true. Alright, where's that from form garbage? Derive. Sweet. We're going to derive from form for here's item filter. Is there a way to derive that just by pointing it? It's not going to work, is it? Do I need to shove the dep up? Brass derive for imported type. It's not going to work. I don't allow orphans. Yeah, it's not going to work. So we're going to have to do that, and hey, easy there, killer. Alright, there we go. Could not, yeah, no kidding. Alright, where's the from form? Okay. Use rocket request. Right, I need the, where's the thingy? The, use macros thing. I don't remember the name of it. Did I do it left toe? I did not. Rust crate macros. To load a crate's macros, okay. Arguments to macros are not allowed here. Okay, fine. Jesus. Oh, don't need that. Oh. There. Maybe other stuff. Not implemented for item contains. Yeah. That's odd. They don't. Okay. That's annoying. found in the scope. What the fuck is raw string? Oh, it's a rocket thing. Why do they have their own thing for that? Not found in the scope. From stir is not implemented for stir. Why do they have their own string type? Rocket roaster. They put. Okay. Roaster. Yes, show me where this is. Reference string. I don't want from stir. As stir. There we go. Thought it might be that, but you know, better check. Sweet. Neat. Super neat. Alright. That's done now. I'm annoying, but alright. Let's see. Okay. I need this thing to be able to open. already have a working HTTP client in Duke, but I'm kind of hoping there's something a little bit nicer. I think requests the main thing everybody uses. Yeah, sure. Oops, that's going to conflict. Let's try to change it. RSS, there we go. Alright, how do I change the Rocket Rust change port? There we go. All right. We are going to filter title for alternatives and return that. Standard read is not implemented for string. Pass string to function taking read trait. Yes, that is exactly my deal. Oh. Okay. That's bytes. Nope. Weird. All right. This should be inster URI web. You can go away. Remove that. Vec. Neat. I need an item filter. Include, exclude, exclude, item field. Item contains, item does contain, filter string, alternatives, expected and stirred, main, 4. Wrong main. 4. Need that any longer. Yep. Oh, return it. Expected reference found struct. Oops. Cool. Only one item, because there's only one item that has alternatives in there. Only one title. That works fine. Okie dokie. No RSS content type. What the fuck? Come on. Is it just XML? Might just be XML. Ah, yeah, it's just XML. Alright, whatever. Okay, how does the response building thing work again? Read seek. Read. Read. Okay, man. Alright. Channel. RSS channel. Read from. Mm-hmm. I just want to turn the channel. So this changes to RSS channel. Channel to string as bytes, make that response unstruct response. Oh my lord. Rocket return response. Status accepted string. Alright. Alright. Well, that's interesting, but I would really like to know. I'll look real quick. I remember the syntax for this. Man. So it starts at 30 but ends at 17. Alright, well I guess I need to find a different way to serialize that. And if nothing it does for serialization works, I don't really know what to do. I have to rewrite all the the RSS stuff, and that's kind of the whole point. Using the library. Resort sale. Alright, what am I missing here? Okay. I thought I tested this before and it worked. It works if I just do a debug print, right? Yeah. Works fine. I don't know. Alright, folks. Made some progress, but kind of stymied by my RSS library here. I don't have to pay it that much mind. I can just pretend that I have XML, and focus on the web stuff. But I'm probably going to call it a night soon. While I'm still here, does anybody have any questions? See you later, Dustin. Alright. I'll take it there's no questions then. And that means doggos. Hi, Jack. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Papu. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna chill out with the dogs for a bit before I hit sec. As always, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, I'm on Twitter. Same name as the Twitch. Like my app. Linking it in the chat. And everybody have a good night. See you later.